Hello, Reds all around the world. I am your host, Mark Dutton, and welcome to Cough for That. And, we're going to talk about the Everton game, we're going to talk about the Man City game. I'm probably going to touch on the Manchester derby as well, because that was a meaningful, impactful experience going into this weekend in regards to the Champions League second leg, quarter-final against Manchester City. So, let's dive straight in. In a derby that really didn't matter. I don't think the Evertonians were bothered at all. There was really nothing out there on social media, Liverpool or Everton. So I don't think anybody could care less. And it was basically played in that manner on a pitch that could have saw, I would say, 5 red cards because it was that wet, torrential rain. You would think that the tackles would fly in. All over Goodison Park. There was no bookings in this derby at all. Not one yellow card, which is insane in the game that is highest on the ranking of cards in Premier League history. There was not one single bad challenge throughout the entire game. Liverpool played a very makeshift team with, again, one eye on the second leg against Manchester City. Manchester City, on the flip side, were looking to win the league championship in their stadium against their biggest rivals, Manchester United. So our team news, what did Klopp do? He went with Karius in goal. So we played our number 1. He went with a central partnership in the middle of our defence of Virgil van Dijk and Lovren. Basically, we haven't got anybody else that could actually play those positions right now through injuries. He was going to play Bobby Mondeo, as I like to call him, in Alberto Moreno, left back. But something happened to him in the warm-up, so he didn't play. And he brings back Klavan, who we haven't seen for a while. And Klavan was key in the West Brom game when we won that, going way back to the start of the year. So it was nice to see him back. And again, he's been out through injury as well. And then, right back, we played Nathaniel Klein, returning. I really thought Liverpool would struggle this season without him. I couldn't imagine a Liverpool side not having their first choice fullbacks in the team. And we lost both through injury. And the guys that have come in, obviously Robinson came in, virtual unknown at the level he's playing at, and he's been phenomenal. And then we've had 2 in Gomez and Trent Alexander-Arnold who have been brilliant. Young players learning their trade. Obviously they're going to make mistakes, but been a revelation. So yeah, Kleiny was back, first game of the season for Kleiny. We played a lot of players in this game that were in need of minutes. So that's what Klopp used. To say it looked like a pre-season game was a bit of an understatement. If I'd saw this game as a pre-season game, I would have been pretty happy if it wasn't Everton. But it was Everton, so it was handled very strangely between both teams. Our midfield 3, we played Wijnaldum in the 6 in a defensive centre midfield role. I think that's where he's going to play against Manchester City tomorrow. So I think that's why Klopp gave him a run out there. Alongside him, he played James Milner on the left, and Jordan Henderson on the right. So the captain was in the team because he's obviously suspended for the Manchester City game after getting a yellow card late on. His front 3 was bizarre, just because the plan B for Liverpool is a problem, and it's a problem because the front 3, when they play 4-3-3, are so good. So, your first choice is Mane, Salah, Bobby Firmino. He went with Danny Ings on the right, so Danny Ings replacing Mohamed Salah, not for me. He played Solanke up front for Bobby Firmino, not for me. And Mane played on the left for himself. We don't have players that can come off the bench and make an impact. We just don't. We haven't had it all season. I feel like the players that we had that could make an impact in relation to Lallana, obviously he's out injured. He's probably the only one, and Wijnaldum to a degree. But what does he really do from the bench? So to play this formation against Everton, I think was really a testament to what we're looking at going into the second leg against Manchester City. That's why the Champions League logo is still there. Like I said, I don't think anybody would care less about a derby. I am, you know, supported this team for my entire life. The derby is the biggest game, but you know, over the last 17 games, Liverpool have been undefeated. It's been having less and less meaning to, I think, everybody surrounding Liverpool Football Club. Like I said, I don't even know that Everton fans are that bothered anymore. They've just disappeared off the face of the earth. It's sad to see such an unbelievable fixture. I think the derby we played when it was a cup game, when we knocked Everton out of the cup and Virgil van Dijk scored on his debut, I think that was exciting and that was quality, just because it's a knockout competition. But I think the league games, both league games this season, Klopp's treated the derby as a pain in the ass, and it basically was a pain in the ass because it was either side of the biggest competition in the world in relation to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. And you know, Liverpool looking to push on in that competition and hopefully, you know, get to the semi-final, get to the final, and hopefully win the whole thing. So the derby was, like I said, it was just a big pain in the bum. So we played it like it was. Has the Merseyside derby summed up in 3 seconds? Ready? Balassi cuts inside. Karius! Oh, what an unbelievable save! He tips it round the post. That's the derby. That's it. I'll throw in another highlight for you. Ready? Solanke must score! Oh, he's never scored for Liverpool. I think if Danny Ings is in that situation, I think Danny Ings scores in that situation, but Klopp played him for Sadio Mohamed Salah. I really messed up there. Played him on the right for Salah. He's not a right midfielder, and I don't think he can play in that situation. I'll be interested to see how Solanke played growing up as well. I believe that Solanke constantly has played in a 2. He might even play in a number 10 role behind another striker. We don't play with a number 10 at Liverpool. So that attacking centre midfielder / withdrawn forward we don't use. We don't play a formation that accommodates that position. So, you know, for me, Solanke's got to go out on loan and get minutes at the likes of a West Brom Championship side. Maybe one of the Premiership teams that get relegated and go down, or a lower end Premiership team, maybe Newcastle. Would love to see him. I would love to see him with Rafa Benitez. I think Rafa could develop this player into something special. But the worry for me is our bench isn't good enough. You know, if we haven't got our key players, now we're lucky that I just watched Liverpool's training, and Salah is back in full training, so he's doing a session tonight ahead of the game tomorrow, so he looks alright. And I think, you know, the team that we're going to play tomorrow, I'm moving on from the derby because, like I said, nobody cares. Oh, by the way, Liverpool drew 0-0 with Everton. There was nothing going on. Everton fell over a few times in the last 5 minutes of the game when Liverpool tied. That's basically the derby. Like I said, 1 save from each keeper. I think Liverpool had 2 shots on target the entire game. Oxlade-Chamberlain came on, had a good run, shot the ball over the crossbar. When on another day he could have scored, similar to the runs he made against Manchester City when he scored on both those occasions. Theo Walcott fell over. Tussin, the number 14, fell over. Big chance towards the end. Bobby Firmino came on and ran around a bit and didn't do anything. Don't know why he came on. Came on the left for Mane. And I think if Liverpool were bothered about the derby and bothered about winning it, they would have put Bobby Firmino up through the centre. But he was always going to play. He was always going to play Danny Ings and Solanke for 90 minutes. And Klein goes off towards the end. He brings on Trent Alexander-Arnold. Or did he go off for Danny Ings? Like I said, derby's forgettable. No one cares. I think he went off for Danny Ings, and Sen come on at right mid. So, possible solutions for Salah not playing. Like I said, I think he will play. I think we will have the team that played in the first leg playing in the second leg, bar Jordan Henderson. I think Wijnaldum will sit in the midfield with Milner and Oxlade-Chamberlain, and he'll play the Fab 3 up front. It'll be Mane on the left, Salah on the right, Bobby Firmino up front, and then the defence will be Robbo in at left back. The situation might be now that he plays Klein off the back of the derby, just because of his experience. But then you think Trent had a good game. What I don't want to see is Trent have a nightmare against Sane and destroy his confidence, because obviously, you know, he held his hand up for the mistakes in the Manchester derby when Liverpool played against Manchester United, and he took the brunt of that. Him and Lovren together. But he's on such a high right now, and he's such a phenomenal talent that I'd probably like to see him just sit this one out and let Kleiny come back in. I think Kleiny's more defensive as well and might do a better job against Sane, and then maybe bring on Trent towards the end of the game, or bring on a third centre half and go free at the back. He's got a lot of thinking to do. I saw the press conference today, and I wasn't that scared of not going through in this tie. I saw Klopp's press conference, and it was good. Van Dijk came out and talked. I'd love to see him captain. You know, I think he just looks every inch the captain that we've been crying out for. I think he'd do a phenomenal job for this club, Virgil van Dijk as captain, and he'd be captain for the next 10, 15 years. I just saw Pep Guardiola's press conference, and he just seemed super cool, super relaxed. We'll just go on to the Manchester City derby now. So obviously, City could have won the league if they beat Man United. City are winning 2-0. They're playing with no strikers, so their big heads are on the bench. So Jesus is on the bench, the striker. Sergio Aguero's on the bench, and Kevin De Bruyne is on the bench. All will probably start tomorrow. Problem I have with this and what managers do, for me, go big, smash him, take him off, rest him. He didn't do that. The game should have been 5-0. He played Raheem Sterling kind of up front on his own. And on another day, City are 5-0 up at half time. Like they make Man United look horrific. They make Pogba look horrific. They make the whole Manchester United team, coaching staff look poor. Battered them. Absolutely obliterated them. Should be 5-0. If City had gone in 5-0 up at half time, no one would have said nothing. Like I said, they probably would have if they played Aguero and Jesus in that starting lineup. Manchester United basically sat off City and just let Aguero have the ball. And they let them have the ball and they obliterated them, but their finishing was diabolical. Sterling was having a terrible, terrible game. Maybe he was thinking about the Liverpool game and it was in his head. Obviously he didn't start at Anfield and he has a torrid time against Liverpool. May that long continue. So City go in at half time 2-0 when it should be 5. And Mourinho doesn't say nothing. Let me tell you now, this is no tactical masterclass by City. A lot of the papers are saying that Manchester United and Mourinho, this brilliant coach, this masterclass, he came out in the second half. He basically said one thing, and he said, don't be the clowns that basically stand there and juggle the balls while Manchester City collect their trophy and celebrate their title. Don't be that. And that was the motivation that they needed, to go out and basically play a few balls over the top of Manchester City's defence, control balls, a little couple of good knockdowns from Herrera. Pogba runs in, and they get 2 goals back. And then with a free kick over the back end of Manchester City defence again, Paul and Smalling runs through and volleys in the winner. So they've scored 3 goals with balls basically in behind and winning knockdowns and scoring goals. And they've done that. So Manchester City were carved open 3 times. De Gea makes a unbelievable world-class save. As highly as Karius' save, and Karius' save was the best save I've seen a Liverpool goalkeeper make this season. Diving full stretch, top corner, tips it around the post from Balassi. Phenomenal. If Everton had won the derby with that goal, you'd have been like, oh well, great goal. They deserved the win. But they never. This save from De Gea is insane. It's like right hand up, twisted over his head, bullet underneath the crossbar and tipped it over. It's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal save. And he's a difference for them this season. The difference maker has been the goalkeeper. I don't think they'd even be in top 4 if it wasn't for him. I'd strongly believe that. So that's it. So City are crushed. Fans are crying. Why would you cry? I know how much it means to the fans to win the league. You're going to win the league, Manchester City. You've won the league. You're going to win it. It's guaranteed. There's nothing that says that you're not going to win the league. So I don't understand why, if you're told you're getting something, why would you cry when you don't get it on the day that you wanted? It doesn't make any sense to me. There was City fans crying all over the stadium. You lost the derby to a crappy Man United team coached by a crappy coach in Mourinho, and you can't tell me he's boss. He's not. And you're crying in the stadium like you've just got relegated. You haven't got relegated. You're going to win the league. You're going to win it this week against Tottenham. Hopefully, that'll be great. I would rather you win it against Tottenham than win it against Man United. So, like I said, I was worried about the press conference from Guardiola today. He seemed super cool, super calm. Basically, said his team was amazing, and yeah, I wasn't worried until I saw Pep's press conference. Now I'm a little scared. So tomorrow, best case scenario, we go at them straight from the kickoff, like we did at Anfield. You know, we let them play for 10 minutes and then we just basically, like Rocky, put the hammer down. Ivan, crush him, blow them up. If we score, for me the tie's over. But it could be one of those insane games where it's like 7-4. That could be that crazy tomorrow. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully Liverpool ball the pants off Manchester City. We get a 1-0 win. Lovren, Virgil van Dijk are incredible. Karius has nothing to do because we've defended so well. I don't believe this is going to happen. So anyway, that's about as excited as I am. Obviously, I'm in a very somber mood because of the game tomorrow is going to be humongous, and Cough for That will be airing tomorrow with all the feedback from the match. Hopefully, Liverpool are off into the semi-finals of the Champions League. We get through the City game tomorrow with no injuries. Everybody gets back on the bus. And we march on to hopefully see the likes of Bayern Munich, Barcelona and Real Madrid in the semi-finals of the Champions League. That's what it's all about, baby. Come on. 3 more wins. Liverpool secure top 4. Hopefully we can do that. Thank you, West Ham. Thank you, West Ham, for slipping up at the weekend. Or should I say, taking points off Chelsea, who slipped up at the weekend. That helps us a lot. I don't think Liverpool will drop many points for the rest of the season. And we can celebrate top 4, hopefully with a Champions League trophy in our locker. I'd like to dedicate this and last week's Cough for That to Ray Wilkins, a phenomenal footballer, phenomenal coach, someone I looked up to greatly in my coaching career. If I become half the coach he is one day, I will be extremely happy with that. So Ray Wilkins, cheers to you. I know you would have loved the Manchester City Liverpool game for last week. You would have truly enjoyed that. Alright, that has been Cough for That. My name is Mark Dutton. I hope you have a wonderful day. Liverpool fans, let's get behind the team. You'll never walk alone. Hopefully we can beat Man City tomorrow. Score prediction, I think Liverpool will win 2-1 on the night. I think we'll win 2-1. I think Man City will take the lead and then Liverpool will score 2 goals, hopefully. Alright. And you'll never walk alone. Alright, Reds, ta-ra for now. Ta-ra.